Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. 7 standouts and 4 duds from Thursday's Steelers training camp practice. The Pittsburgh Steelers are coming off 3 straight days of padded practices before gearing up for their annual Friday Night Lights practice on August 2nd. There have been numerous notable performers to date. Some of these players managed to stack impressive practices, while others are trending in the wrong direction. While we never want to read too much into one training camp practice, it was easy to see which players stole the show on Thursday and who had a forgettable day. Based on practice reports, video clips, and social media posts from those on hand for practice at St. Vincent College, here are the biggest studs and duds from Steelers training camp on Thursday. Though Justin Fields threw an interception in Thursday's practice, a pass that may have been tipped at the line of scrimmage, he was excellent in team sessions. Fields delivered a beautiful deep ball down the sideline and capped off his 2-minute drill with a score. This wasn't his best performance at training camp, but it was close. George Pickens was busy making cornerbacks look silly during Thursday's training camp practice. The 6 feet 3 inches wide receiver easily won down the field, chewing up yards with one big play after the next. The highlight of Pickens' practice was his impressive touchdown snag in the back of the end zone, which was captured on video by a fan in attendance. With Roman Wilson sidelined, Van Jefferson is taking advantage of every opportunity. The veteran wide receiver had his best training camp practice so far, as he won all over the field. Jefferson's biggest moment of practice was an over-the-shoulder deep ball catch against Joey Porter Jr. DeMarvin Leal continues to be one of the stars of Steelers camp. The 23-year-old defensive lineman and 2022 third-round pick once again flashed his speed and ability to knife into the backfield. He hasn't gone unnoticed early on, and he made some splashy plays in team sessions on Thursday. Though there haven't been many live tackling sessions at Steelers training camp to date, Patrick Queen flashed his elite closing speed and sideline ability routinely during practice. A clip surfaced of the Pro Bowl linebacker reading the play and pouncing on running back Jaylen Warren to drop him for a loss. Though he's not known for his coverage ability, Mark Robinson had a solid practice on Thursday, which included a pair of pass breakups. This isn't enough to change his status on the 2024 roster outlook, but it's a start. Dante Jackson has been one of the biggest winners at Steelers training camp so far, but Thursday wasn't his best day. The veteran cornerback allowed Van Jefferson and others to rack up easy completions against him in team sessions. With George Pickens and Van Jefferson exploding for big performances, Calvin Austin III was the odd man out. The speedy wide receiver had a few nice catches, but failed to track down a well-thrown ball on a wheel route. With Roman Wilson sidelined, this was a missed opportunity for Wilson to take advantage of his situation. Nobody is worried about Joey Porter Jr., and the impressive young cornerback will be just fine when the season rolls around. Unfortunately, Thursday's practice was not his best day. Porter gave up a 40-yard reception and was all around too grabby in coverage. This led to the refs throwing a penalty against him during practice. Ryan Clark boldly predicts Justin Fields will lead Steelers to playoffs. 1 week into the Pittsburgh Steelers training camp and Ryan Clark is ready to call it. Justin Fields is the answer at quarterback and if given the chance, will lead the Steelers to a postseason berth. Making an admitted bold prediction during Thursday night's SportsCenter, Clark bet big on Fields. Justin Fields is going to lead the Pittsburgh Steelers to the playoffs, Clark said as one of his 3 predictions. That's right. That means, first, he has to become the starter. Which he is. And then when he becomes the starter, he has to get into the playoffs. Which he is. Mike T always fields a competent team, a competitive team. Now he's gonna have a dynamic playmaker at quarterback and they will be in the playoffs. Fields has been the starting quarterback of training camp while Russell Wilson is eased into action after suffering a calf injury. So far, Wilson's only graduated to the occasional handoff during the team period and has yet to throw a pass in the session. It's allowed Fields to receive more and higher-ranked reps. His first few days in camp were reminiscent of his days in Chicago. Flashing a big arm, downfield accuracy, and mobility, but struggling with his short area accuracy and overall consistency. He's evened out the past few practices and led an efficient 2-minute drive ending in a W.R. George Pickens touchdown Thursday afternoon. Fields' threat as a runner gives him a unique trait for the offense. Pittsburgh hasn't been shy about using it in camp, calling several read options while Fields has scrambled to extend the play or take off when nothing is truly there. Clark doesn't specify if he believes Fields will be the starter in Week 1. But by the end of the year, Fields will be the one to take Pittsburgh into the postseason. If so, it could be a similar situation as last year when Mason Rudolph started and won the final 3 to break Pittsburgh out of a funk and squeeze their way into the playoffs. It's not the first time Clark has advocated for Fields. He's already on recording believing the team would make a mid-season switch to Fields and believes Fields becoming the starter and answer is the best thing for the organization. A decade younger than Wilson, it's a logical thought. He also isn't the only ESPN personality to push for Fields, joining Louis Riddick, a one-time Steelers GM candidate who has been in Fields' corner throughout the offseason. Roman Wilson gets update on injury that will sideline him for weeks. Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver Roman Wilson is dealing with an ankle sprain that will be monitored as a week-to-week deal, head coach Mike Tomlin said on Thursday. Now, Wilson is in a boot for the foreseeable future. The timeline for the injury is not exactly known, but it appears that Wilson will miss considerable time leading up to the season. He's got an ankle sprain, Tomlin said. It could be characterized as week-to-week at this juncture. We've got him walking around in a boot for precaution. I'll give you more information as he gets closer to help. While reports in Tomlin cite it as an ankle sprain, sources have told Penn Live that the injury is the dreaded high ankle sprain. He is expected to be ready for the start of the regular season, but will miss significant time leading up to that. The Steelers plan to be cautious with their approach to Wilson and his recovery. The injury occurred when Wilson took a jet sweep across the formation, and cornerback Anthony Averett rolled up on his ankle, causing the injury. Wilson was carted off and did not return to practice. Without Wilson in the fold, the Steelers will turn to Calvin Austin III and Quez Watkins to play more snaps in the slot Wilson would have needed. As a rookie, this does hurt his chances to play right away, but the Steelers will need contributions from Wilson in the room, so the sooner he is ready, the better off the Steelers will be. If you purchase a product or register for an account through a link on our site, we may receive compensation. By using this site, you consent to our user agreement and agree that your clicks, interactions, and personal information may be collected, recorded, and/or stored by us and social media and other third-party partners in accordance with our privacy policy. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Roman Wilson? Leave your opinion in the comments.